Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly podcast. Thank you for joining us today. And Pastor Will, thank you for joining us as always. How you doing today?
Good to be with you, Matt. And
Yeah,
look forward
man.
to sharing with our people some of the great things that are happening and just some opportunities. And
Yeah,
man, just a good day to get up and be alive in Christ and know we're on the winning team and we get a
yeah,
chance to advance the mission. So that's a good thing.
absolutely, man. Well, speaking of advancing the mission, how was Sunday? Sunday's a great opportunity for us as a church to advance the mission, tell more people about the gospel, see more people show up and get connected. So, how was Sunday at Island Church?
Sunday, I thought the services went quite well. We were down a little bit in terms of our attendance in the
Yeah,
8:45 service. We are having a few people that they've come there 6 weeks or they've come there 2 months to the
yeah,
area and then they're moving back. So we have some of that going on that's taking place. People coming and people going, and so that's taking place. But it was overall good service and good feedback from the people, and really just talking about that life giving relationships and just the importance of the how tos of to carrying out relationships. So we have meaningful relationships. We want to look back through our life and have a bunch of connections with people that really have given us life, and we've given life to them. And so we talked about that, protecting the blind side. How do you actually have, um, a situation where you can give and receive spiritual correction? And
yeah.
we protect other people, and they help protect us. And what does that look like? And so we talked about some how tos this past week, and so it was a good Sunday. I had good feedback from people. People said they left with things that will be helpful during the week. So that's always good to hear as a pastor.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad to hear it. We have Easter coming up really soon, right? A lot of events coming up along with that. But before that, we have Momentum coming up. Just what else is going on in the life of the church? Give us updates on how people can get more involved kind of coming up in really the entire month of March. It's just jam packed.
Right. Well, we've been having some need for some people to put out some of our signs, just kind of a basic kind of thing, but it really is an important thing because we've had new guests in our church and people that have now become a part of our church that said, "Hey, I found out about the church through the signs out here, in particular this time of year." And so I think actually, as of last night, 2 or 3 additional people offered to be a part of a team that would get out our sandwich signs. That's somebody's looking for something to do. That's something they can help us do. So we're going to need to get out some signs. Of course, you've prepared the signs for Easter. Those are separate little, almost like real estate little quick punch-in signs, and so we've got those ready to give out. But in terms of our events, we've got the egg stuffing. We're going to stuff about 3,000 eggs, maybe 3,500, I think, which would give us 5,500 total. So we'll do that on March 17th after our service. That'll be big fun. Some of our guys and gals need to make sure that you're not stuffing a piece and eating a piece, stuffing a piece. No, you need to actually just stuff the eggs. So
Yeah,
it'll be
absolutely.
big fun. And then on Momentum, we've got we're planning additional time preparation for the Easter, and we're going to try to have some food, some good food. We're going to do try to do some grilling that particular day. We're going to have some special prayer time for our community, and then final preparations for our Easter egg hunt and the sunrise service. So that's coming up the 17th and then the 24th. And like you said, I mean, Easter's just around the corner. I mean, it's the Easter egg hunt's it's a big deal. Preparations. I got word last night from some of our leaders on that, and that people, even though some of the people are newer to our church family, they've stepped right in. And Tom and is helping us organize that, Tom Crick. And so we're going to have a place for people to get connected in and to serve with Easter egg hunt and with the sunrise service. And people don't need to forget this coming week. That is daylight savings time. It's going to be a little early.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for reminding me because I would have been the one that forgot as well.
That's right. So that's right. If you go to the last service, you'll just be there by yourself. So
yeah, it'd just be you. Which, hey, listen, if that's what you're into, you just want to spend some time with God, that's cool. You can just be sitting by yourself in the quiet, but there will be no music or preaching unless you bring it yourself. So.
That's right. Well, we're going to also have this month of March. We're having our annual. What we're going to make an annual missions offering. And so maybe you've been a part of a church out there, and your church is taking 2 or 3 maybe missions offerings a year. We're going to move to one missions offering. We would say that when you give to the local church, one is an act of obedience and worship to God, but it is participating in the ministry and the mission of the church. The church is the mission, but we have mission partners. We have mission partners to touch places we can't touch, whether the prisons, the crisis pregnancies, and places international. There's just several things our church has been involved with. We would call these ministry and missions partners. And so we're going to take an annual offering for this. And we thought, what better time to do that than around Easter? So we'll be getting more and more word out on that. Some people come to the Easter egg hunt or the sunrise service, and they want to be able to give financially. And then it's a way where some of the people that are connected to our church that are not here regularly, they support their church at home financially, that's quite appropriate. But it's also a way to support the ministry and the mission of what we're doing here at Island Church. And so this is to be another part of what we do this month of March is to collect the whole month towards our mission partners. So that's another good thing.
Well, that's awesome, Pastor Will. So how can people be praying for the church this week?
Well, we got so many different kinds of things going. We'd love to see, we had our college students back the last couple of weeks. I didn't say that was a good news earlier, but love to see a college group get started. We have a new person that's moved into a new home closed that want to open up their home, and there'll be a new group starting hopefully in the coming weeks there. But there's just all kinds of new things happening, particularly with those college students who want to get connected and get them in a group. But what's got part of my attention is if the church is going to live and thrive into the future, it's going to need our buildings to be expanded. We're going to need to expand our capacity to impact the children in the area. And so David Brooks is giving leadership to that expansion team and in our church and doing a great job with that. And it's quite skilled at that. And so we're working together, working with the architect, we're finding plans. And so we hope to have those out in the coming days, but just keep that on your mind and your heart that God would, as we finalize the plans and whether we get the last little piece of lands that we could use to give us a little bit more, or whether we go with exactly what we have. But, that bridge to the future, that the idea of a multi-purpose complex is a big deal. Our church is going to be hosting next week, thinking about that. It's going to be hosting the election right here inside our building. But I think about in the future, it'll be in a bigger space that's more easily accessible to get in and out and has more elbow room. But that'd just be one of many things that the space would be used for. But we are going to have the whole community in our building actually next Tuesday for our election. So they can pray about that we'll just have good engagements with them. So
absolutely. Great opportunity for our church to get to rub shoulders with folks in the community, get to interact and serve our community well, kind of in that election season. So Pastor Will, thank you so much for taking the time to join today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to these videos so you can always stay up to date with the most recent Island Church Weekly podcast. And we'll see you back next week.